Hi, welcome to our channel Programming of Mind, where we accelerate your knowledge with concise, from high-value book summaries. Let's begin the power of Mars and Venus in communication, how communication shapes the relationship between men and women. Effective communication is the bedrock of any healthy relationship. However, for many couples, it can feel like they're speaking different languages. Men and women often communicate differently, not only in how they express themselves, but also in how they interpret what is being said. These differences in communication styles can lead to misunderstandings, frustration, and emotional distance. Imagine the situation between Emma and Tom. Emma is feeling stressed about work, and she wants to share her feelings with Tom. When she starts talking, Tom listens attentively but doesn't immediately respond. Emma, assuming that Tom doesn't care, starts to get frustrated, feeling that he's not giving her the emotional attention she needs. Tom, on the other hand, is waiting for Emma to finish so he can offer a solution to help her with her stress. The problem here is that Emma isn't looking for a solution. She just wants to feel heard and supported, while Tom thinks that offering a solution is the best way to show his care. This communication gap is common in relationships. Men often approach conversations with the goal of solving problems, while women seek emotional connection and validation. When both partners understand this fundamental difference, they can bridge the communication gap and improve their emotional connection. The Mars approach to communication, logical and direct, men often communicate in a more straightforward and solution-oriented way. When faced with a problem or conflict, men tend to focus on finding a solution quickly. For men, effective communication is about getting to the point, addressing the issue directly, and moving on. Let's consider how Alex and Lily approach communication. When Alex is faced with a problem at work, he might tell Lily, "I've got a lot on my plate, and I need to figure out how to handle it." Lily, who is more emotionally attuned, might want to explore how Alex feels about the situation, whether he's stressed, overwhelmed, or anxious. However, Alex's direct approach may seem like he's shutting down the conversation, when in reality, he just wants to focus on finding a solution without dwelling on his feelings. For men like Alex, communication often focuses on fixing problems, achieving goals, and remaining emotionally detached. While this can be a strength in many situations, it can also create a disconnect when a partner needs emotional support and understanding. Men may need to learn to tune into the emotional needs of their partner and provide reassurance, even if they feel uncomfortable doing so. The Venus approach to communication, emotional and expressive women, on the other hand, often use communication to express their feelings and create emotional closeness. When a woman talks, she is not just conveying information. She is sharing her emotional experience and seeking validation. For women, communication is a way to connect on a deeper emotional level, to be understood, and to feel supported. Take the case of Rachel and Greg. Rachel wants to talk about a difficult situation with a friend, and she expects Greg to listen attentively and respond empathetically. She might start the conversation with, "I've been feeling hurt by what Jane said to me the other day." Rachel doesn't necessarily want Greg to solve the problem. She simply wants to share her feelings and have Greg validate her emotions. However, Greg might try to offer advice or suggest a solution, assuming that this is what Rachel needs. In doing so, he misses the point of the conversation, which is to provide emotional support. For women like Rachel, communication is not just about solving problems, but about connecting emotionally. They seek empathy and understanding, and they need to feel that their feelings are heard and respected. Men, on the other hand, might need to adjust their approach to communication to meet these emotional needs. The role of active listening. Hearing beyond the words, a significant part of effective communication is active listening. This means not just hearing the words that are being said, but also understanding the emotions and intentions behind them. Active listening requires empathy, patience, and an openness to the speaker's perspective. For example, when Sarah and John have a conversation, Sarah might express her feelings about a recent family gathering that left her feeling uncomfortable. John, who is used to being more solution-oriented, might try to fix the problem by suggesting ways to handle similar situations in the future. However, Sarah needs to feel that John is truly listening to her emotions. She doesn't want advice, just validation and support. Active listening, in this case, would involve John acknowledging Sarah's feelings by saying, "I can understand why that would have upset you. I'm sorry you had to go through that." In many relationships, one partner may listen passively, but not actively engage with the emotions behind the words. Active listening requires partners to focus not only on the content of the conversation, but also on the emotional tone and needs of the speaker. This can create deeper understanding and strengthen the bond between partners. Bridging the gap. How men and women can communicate better. The key to improving communication between Mars and Venus is awareness and intention. Both partners need to understand that their styles of communication are shaped by different needs and expectations. Men need to recognize that women may not always want solutions to problems. They may simply need someone to listen and acknowledge their feelings. Women, on the other hand, can learn that men might express their care through actions or by offering solutions, rather than through emotional expression. Let's look at Paul and Megan. Paul tends to fix problems right away, even in casual conversations. Megan, however, often wants to talk through issues to feel emotionally heard. Over time, Paul realizes that Megan values emotional connection during conversations, so he makes a conscious effort to listen to her feelings and express his empathy, rather than jumping to conclusions. Megan, in turn, learns that Paul expresses his love through actions, like taking care of household chores or helping her with projects, and she starts to appreciate these gestures more. By understanding these differences and making small adjustments to their communication styles, Paul and Megan create a more harmonious connection where both partners feel heard and valued. The importance of timing in communication. Timing is crucial in communication, especially when emotions are running high. If one partner is upset or emotional, it may not be the best time to discuss a difficult issue. Sometimes, it's necessary to take a break from the conversation and return to it once both partners are calm and collected. For many couples, emotions can cloud judgment and lead to ineffective communication, so giving each other time to process can help prevent escalation. Consider the relationship between Mike and Kelly. One evening, they get into an argument about finances. Kelly feels overwhelmed by their debt, while Mike is frustrated with Kelly's spending habits. Instead of continuing the argument in the heat of the moment, Mike suggests that they take a break and resume the conversation the next day when they are both in a better frame of mind. This pause allows them to reflect on their feelings and approach the conversation more rationally. Timing also involves knowing when to offer emotional support and when to suggest practical solutions. For instance, if a woman is feeling emotionally vulnerable, offering reassurance and empathy may be more helpful than suggesting a solution right away. Conversely, if a man is trying to solve a problem, offering practical advice and solutions may be appreciated more than emotional validation. Nonverbal communication. More than words, nonverbal communication, such as body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions, also plays a significant role in how men and women communicate. Nonverbal cues can convey messages of affection, anger, frustration, or love that words alone may not fully express. Take the example of Linda and Sam. When Linda is upset, she may fold her arms or look away, signaling that she's not ready to engage emotionally. Sam, on the other hand, may be unaware of Linda's body language and may continue to speak to her without recognizing that she needs space. If Sam notices Linda's nonverbal cues, he can adjust his approach, offering her the space she needs before trying to engage in conversation. Both men and women need to become more aware of the nonverbal cues they give and receive. Understanding these cues can help prevent misunderstandings and strengthen the emotional connection. Thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe for more great upcoming content that will put you in top 1% people in the world.